All right, Jay, this is your turn now. You're gonna go ahead and talk about one of your favorites, right? Your favorite. I would call it a favorite with the way the computer treats you in this game. But we're gonna be playing Mortal Kombat 2,
released in 1995. This is the 32X version,
which I've never played before because the first time I played Mortal Kombat 2 was on the Super Nintendo, and I was 2 or 3.
Yeah, but Mortal Kombat is Mortal Kombat, regardless of this whatever system it is. It's still Mortal Kombat, still input reads, but you're really good at it. So let's see what happens, man. It looks like you're picking your cheesy character.
Well, you gotta pick Sub-Zero, Baraka, or Katana. Those are the only 3 characters that win fights. As you can see, Baraka already starting with his crap, so I'm just gonna slow it up with my little ice ball. But it's a little crazy with this game because if you play the original arcade version, it was meant to take your quarters. Basically, what they did was they put the AI that they can do things that you can't. For example, let's say if they sweep you, they can throw you immediately, which you can't do. So instead, I found out little tricks about this game by looking on the internet and finding things out online. Basically, if you're picking either Sub-Zero, Baraka...
It looks like you missed out on that, huh?
It happens. It happens. But what I was saying was that what they did back then was they programmed the computer to be just basically kick the hell out of you so you can put more quarters into the game. So I found out little trick ways of doing things. Like you pick Sub-Zero, you pick Baraka or Katana. Because Baraka has that little slash attack and the computer, they'll either jump into it or they'll walk into it, one of the two. And Katana, she has that little force field thing that lifts you up in the air. And when you're doing that, you can do a jump kick and throw into the fan, which basically takes half their health bar away. Sub-Zero, on the other hand, Sub-Zero can do a sweep into the little ground freeze thing, but it doesn't work all the time because, like I said, the computer is meant to take your quarters.
Well, that's not too bad. I mean, you almost got your butt kicked by...
Well, it's gonna get worse from here. Like, this game treats you like you owe them $5 and you haven't paid them in months. It's gonna get that money any way they can. Also, interesting fact about the Sub-Zero in this game. In the original Mortal Kombat, that was actually Bi-Han, which is Sub-Zero's brother. And he got killed by Scorpion. I'm about to lose this fight. Yep, there goes the computer treating me like I'm a 5-year-old kid. But what I was saying is that the Sub-Zero in this game is actually Kuai Liang, which is Bi-Han's brother, because Bi-Han later on became Noob Saibot, because it was a scheme by Quan Chi to kill Sub-Zero for, if you guys played Mythologies, basically he tried to steal the amulet, and Sub-Zero took it back and gave it back to Raiden. Oh lord. See,
there you go.
You have to like cheese this computer out. Hey, I got one.
Fatality.
But you gotta like cheese the computer out, and to be honest, playing Mortal Kombat 2 against the computer isn't really fun compared to playing it against a person. Because a person won't input read you the way the game does.
So we'll be doing epic battle videos. I'm guessing you and Jay.
Yeah, we'll try to beat the game. I've also figured out that if you play on player 2, for some reason the computer doesn't input you as much. Another thing, when you're fighting Jax, try not to jump on Jax, because Jax has an air throw and it'll do a lot of damage.
Well, I noticed that you're using the 6-button Genesis controller.
Of course. Who can play this with 3? It's impossible.
You gotta press the start button to flip it from 3-button to 6-button.
No, the actually in Mortal Kombat, when it comes down, the start button actually makes you block. Which is very dumb, because that means you can't pause the game if, like, let's say you're grounded or something and you're playing Mortal Kombat and your parents...
Jax is coming down on you.
Of course he is. He's Jax. But it's the computer in this game. They just decide when they're gonna win. Well, he didn't win that time.
No! Oh! Hey!
See, I get him a majority of the time. It's just sometimes, you know, it just doesn't happen. The game requires strict inputs to do fatalities in this game. And this is majority with the first 3.
Definitely one of the most probably the most difficult Mortal Kombat version out there.
No, one of the most difficult fighting games ever.
Period.
This and those SNK games. Both of them are meant to take your quarters. Street Fighter, on the other hand, the only hard Street Fighter that will take your quarters is Super Turbo. That game is ridiculous. But as you see, Raiden got his ass handed to him. But yeah, when it comes to Mortal Kombat, 2 is the hardest one, but it's also, if you're playing with another person, it's probably the most fun one you can play. This one, just the whole mystic of the game, the characters, the maps, which is very interesting because playing this on a 32X, like if you played it on Genesis first, the maps in the back didn't move. But I've noticed on the 32X version, like the mouth in the back is moving. That's interesting.
Well, the 32X brings that out.
That's really interesting because I never played the 32X version. It was either I played the Super Nintendo version or the Sega Genesis version, or I've even played it on the PlayStation, but that was a Japanese copy and I had green blood. Japan was heavy with censors when it came to blood. It's very interesting because if you play Samurai Showdown, you just slice people up in half and that's fine.
Kind of made graphically the game looks great.
It does.
It looks really nice on the 32X.
It looks way better than because if you play the Super Nintendo version, the Super Nintendo looks better than the Genesis version.
Yes.
But this looks better than the Super Nintendo version. And here goes to see that's the move I was talking about with Katana that basically is a cheat for you to win.
Are you saying she's cheesing?
Of course she is. The computer just uses the most bullshit tactics to win. That fan move is really good too.
I like the sound effects.
The sound effects are great, but they don't sound as good as the arcade.
Whoopsie!
But they do sound better than any other thing anyone out there in this time. I would go to say that the 32X version is the best Mortal Kombat 2 that was released back in that time.
This is 1995 right now.
That's a very great, that's a very great year.
24 years ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
1995 is a great year. We got Tekken, we got on PlayStation, we got the Alpha series for Street Fighter. It was a great year.
Yeah, it was definitely a good year.
Oh Lord, like
here we go.
They just don't want to fight you, and they wait for you to press buttons to do things.
Got her.
I got her.
Knock her off. Knock her off.
She deserved that, okay? She was giving me too many problems.
You notice that in this particular game, Mortal Kombat 2, they actually changed the ways that you have to do to knock them off the ledges and those types.
I know, because in the original Mortal Kombat, you just press an
down
uppercut and they fall to the death. In this one, I believe Sub-Zero's is forward, down, forward, block. I can be wrong, but I don't remember because when I was doing this, I know, but I was looking at my phone the whole time to get the fatality.
Oh.
So, this is a couple of days after this. But it's as you can see, Liu Kang's gonna start with his bull crap. Certain characters in this game you just can't jump on because they're gonna do little things like that. Like if you do a jump forward, they immediately start jumping backwards, which is just bullshit. But it doesn't matter. I still beat him. This freaking guy. But Mortal Kombat 2 was the one that put the Mortal Kombat, I would say put the franchise on the map. They released it I think about 6 months after Mortal Kombat 1, which as you guys know with the whole ESRB thing, it was Mortal Kombat, Lethal Enforcers, all of that. Mortal Kombat played a tribute to that because of Sub-Zero's fatality in particular. But they took it out of this game because I think it was because it was a different Sub-Zero. I am not doing that bad here. That's fine. He'll stay frozen for the rest of his life. I didn't have to kill him.
I need you to explain something to a couple of people who are probably watching this video. What do you consider input reads?
Alright, input reads is when the computer decides if you press a button, they're going to react with another button. So, like, for example, if I were to jump at Sub-Zero here, right? He would probably either press a high kick to kick me out of the air, or he'll do his own jump kick that for some reason comes out faster than mine, despite me already being in the air. Another thing is, famously, when you Fatana Melina, if you try to sweep the two of them, they will grab you. And it's specifically with those two. As you see, the computer did my trick against me. It's another, it's a problem mirror matches. That's what he gets. Don't wear my colors, man.
Well, I noticed that you haven't done any fatalities. Is that because you don't think of these guys as your friends and you don't want to be friends with
No, it's just the fatalities and the friendships are a waste of time.
That they were introduced in this game.
They were introduced to tease your friends.
If you didn't want to kill them.
So instead of, no, actually killing them would probably be the the nicer of the things to do, because if he's telling you, like, if you lose to Sub-Zero and he's telling you to buy a Sub-Zero doll, like, that's just not right, man. That's kind of mean. And I'm gonna be honest here, guys. If you look in the top, every time I get a win, it'll go back to 0. There's a reason for that. The computer just had enough of my bullshit instead of whoop my ass. But I gotta look good here, so I gotta make it seem like I'm the best. So I had to cut that out.
So he's the best. It's pretty funny.
That's why, if you notice in the beginning of the video, I put like 40 credits in, because I know this game and I know the way they treat you. And sometimes you get so angry that you just don't feel like killing anybody. You just want to win and get to that next match, because it's not worth it. I think Johnny Cage is probably one of the easiest characters to fight against in this game. But the game starts getting like bullshit towards the middle. Basically, if your chances of spending less quarters is if you fight Katana, Melina, and Kung Lao in the middle. I mean, in the beginning. You get like Liu Kang in the middle, he's a manager. Scorpion in the end, oh my god. Anytime you press anything, he's gonna spear you. Every time. And it'll be like a spear that he won't even do it. Like, you know, you guys know how you play Street Fighter and you fight Zangief? And he could just powerbomb you and just walk up to you and powerbomb you.
Right.
Which, you know that it's a 360 motion. It's the same thing with Mortal Kombat 2. The computer has one-button special moves. And they seem to do it the most miraculous time. And here we go, I was talking crap about Johnny Cage, and I guess he took offense. He's like, you ain't gonna beat me like that, fella. But I've been recently going back to all the Mortal Kombat games and playing them because 11 is coming out next month.
I know, that's why you're replaying all these games.
I'm playing all of them over again, trying to get my memory back. And I gotta say, man, the first 3 are the hardest out of all of them. Specifically Mortal Kombat 2. Because Mortal Kombat 3, it'll input read you about like 4 fights. Let's say if you spend 4 quarters, then they'll give you a freebie. Like, here, you can win this fight. Mortal Kombat 1 is not that bad with the input reading. But towards the middle, it starts getting challenging because they start doing endurance matches, and you gotta fight 2 people, and it's bad enough fighting 1. See, Johnny almost made me look bad there. Like I said before, you know, you get so frustrated you don't feel like doing fatalities, and then when you do try to get them out, you're just like, damn it, you know, I forgot, what was it, forward down forward, or forward down back or something, and they only give you a couple of seconds to memorize it. And I mentioned before, Kung Lao is very ridiculous in this game. And like, I always thought Kung Lao's fighting stance just looked ridiculous. Because first off, his hands are down. So it looks like he's not even ready to fight you. And it looks like he's doing dance moves. Like he's breaking out on the dance floor a little bit. But, you know, the 32X version, the loading is fast. I like the fact that the backgrounds, you know, they move. It kind of resembles the arcade version. Because if you played, like, the Super Nintendo version, then it's Genesis version. I'm gonna keep saying that. Further, let's talk about the Genesis version real quick. It looked horrible. Compared to the Super Nintendo version, the Genesis version looked horrible.
I can honestly tell you, in my opinion, I've always been a Genesis guy when it came to Mortal Kombat, but I have to admit with you that this game on this SNES was better, but I was so used to, actually, I guess the controller for the Sega Genesis.
The controller for the Genesis, in my opinion,
is much better.
It's better for fighting games.
Definitely much better.
Way better for fighting games. Because all 6 buttons were on the face pad, not on the triggers.
Right.
So the only thing is that the Genesis had worse quality sound, and the graphics didn't look too good, and the animations weren't there. Like,
I wonder why is that? Why do you think the Genesis had the sound chip that was not right for some reason? I don't know. I'm curious on that. That's weird.
That's a very good question.
SNES had incredible sound. Their games sounded great.
They did sound great, and they looked better too.
I'll give you a quick example. Let's just talk Street Fighter. Right?
Yes, I was going to bring that up. If you play Super Street Fighter... no, not Super Street Fighter. You play Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right?
Yeah.
It looks great.
Right.
On the Super Nintendo. You play the Genesis version, Ryu has a tan, Like he looks red.
Yeah.
The sounds are weird. Like if you played the original, oh, I got someone. It's I don't know.
I agree with that, but again,
Is this gonna be Jack?
Yeah,
is this gonna be Smoke or Jade?
You ready?
It's Jade, meaning I can't sweep her because she's gonna grab me 24/7.
Oh,
There
no.
you go, like I just said. And here's the problem: if you lose to Jade, right? What happens is you still gotta put another quarter in, right?
Man, you didn't even.
I knew that was gonna happen. There's not much you can do against these opponents. They freak out. And the weird thing is Jade has Katana's moves.
Oh my God! Come on.
But here's the thing. Jade has always been a problem. Even if you play Mortal Kombat 3, Jade's been a problem. I got my ass handed to me. That was bad.
Input?
Now you must return to the Outworld. Gee, thanks.
Input.
Hey, I got to skip Scorpion, though.
Input.
The worst of them all is Sang Shun because he's short. So he has a weird-ass hitbox. Well, if he turns it, Melina, there's a trick to beating Melina. If she most of the time when she jumps, she's gonna shoot her little that thing. If you jump before it, you can hit her. Well, let's get back to what we were saying about Street Fighter. The sound of the Genesis version, like if you die in the Genesis version, it's like, and then there's like a cut, there's like a silence, and then at the end is You play the Super Nintendo version, it's So it's like the sound was weird. So sometimes Hadouken won't come out, the sound noise. Like if you're fighting Sagat and he's shooting a tiger, and you shoot a Hadouken, it'll just be silence. Ryu won't say anything. But if you play the Super Nintendo version, it's just tiger, tiger, It's like Genesis couldn't afford good sound back then. Damn, I beat Sang Shun quite fast.
There you go.
See, I didn't even care about fatalities anymore. I'm just so frustrated with this game that it's just like, screw it.
Was it Jade?
It was Jade. It was Jade. It's definitely Jade. Oh, Lord. Kintaro, man. Let's talk about Kintaro. Kintaro, if you jump kick... Wait, you can freeze him? Wow. I did that by mistake, too. Kintaro, on the other hand, there's a trick way to beat him. I didn't find that out until after this video, that if you jump at him, 9 times out of 10, he'll either jump at you, or he'll just stand there and taunt. When Kintaro jumps, just back jump, and then you get a free uppercut. Or in my case, with Sub-Zero, just keep freezing him constantly. Which is, always great. I didn't even remember doing that. I was just so annoyed with this game that it's just like...
It was Jade.
It was Jade. It's definitely Jade. And if you guys know what I'm talking about, if you played Mortal Kombat 3, and you fight Jade in that tower, and she has that projectile immunity, good luck beating Jade.
There you go. You just did it. Remember, like, he jumps up in the air?
Yeah.
Because normally he just lands right on top of it.
I messed up there. I shouldn't have shot the ice ball. But beating the game of Sub-Zero is probably Sub-Zero, Baraka, and Katana. They're probably the best characters to use. I love how he just stands on me. Like I'm just gonna stand on your
I think the next thing we'll probably do, if you're interested, we'll do a Sega CD Mortal Kombat.
I'm down. I'm down with that, man. I want to review all of them
because I think the Mortal Kombat 1 on the Sega CD is probably the best one on the 16-bit version.
It is the best one on the 16-bit version.
CD has the sound.
It had the sound, but it didn't have the graphics. The Super Nintendo version again has better graphics
than the Sega CD. I got to check that comparison.
The only downfall with the Super Nintendo is Nintendo punked out, and instead of putting the blood and gore in, they put like brown sweat.
You got it.
Was there any doubt, man? Was there any doubt it was gonna be Kintaro?
Breathe it in, man.
Breathe it in, man.
Uh-oh. Cheese?
Shao Kahn beats me, he's gonna make the list.
Cheese?
Cheese. But there is actually a trick to beating Shao Kahn. It doesn't work all the time. But he's so dumb.
Very aggressive.
That's fine. Aggression is better when you fight Shao Kahn because he's so stupid.
Keep shooting.
The weird thing, he's so stupid that if you down and crouch in your corner, he will charge at you. Now, you can, with the charge thing, you're crouching on the bottom waiting for him to do things, You
got
can
him, you got
can
him.
actually not. Let's see.
You got him.
I did get him.
Get him.
Let's see.
No. You got him.
Another weird thing is it's a Sub-Zero glitch too. If he's shooting that arrow at you and you freeze him at the right time, the arrow will go right through you. That's the charge I was talking about. If you hide in the corner and you wait for him to do that and crouch block, I wasn't doing it here.
See how much energy he just took?
That's fine. He's the final boss. Mortal Kombat final boss. You will die, mortal. I had to put that in because of the game. But there is a trick to beat Shao Kahn. And I actually learned it from going back to playing Deception. And I was watching like the character bios. And Ed Boon was mentioning like, oh, you know, people didn't know back then that you could just crouch. And when he does the charge, you get a free uppercut.
Okay.
But, you know...
All right, you're getting close right now. Getting close.
Here's the weird thing about this game.
Here it comes.
Shao Kahn isn't that hard.
Jade.
Jade should be the final boss, man. Jade and freaking Baraka or
You
Katana.
got him. That's it.
That's interesting.
The animation's not bad either.
It's not, but he's supposed to go, no, no, no. But there we go. I finished the game of Sub-Zero.
Nice
Now.
gameplay right there.
It only took me 20 quarters.
So we're most likely going to do a Sega CD Mortal Kombat version, but your thoughts on Mortal Kombat 2 and 32X?
Surprisingly, I liked it.
You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. The AI is not... Well, the AI is more forgiving than the...
But you give it a thumbs up.
I give it a thumbs up, yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to finish this up, guys. Thanks for watching. As always, you appreciate it. And keep
it retro.
Keep it retro.
Drink it in, man.
Drink it in. Drink it in. Sega CD Mortal Kombat coming soon.